Hey folks, and welcome to another video from Match Betting Profit Diary. So I hope you are finding it useful so far, that you've watched some of the other videos perhaps first, and you're starting to think that it might be for you, so you're looking into it some more. I hope that's the case, because it really is a fantastic opportunity that I want as many people in this country to take up as possible and to spread the word, get it going like wildfire, because this is one of the solutions. So let's crack on anyway. So this one about in this series, from the Before You Start series, it's all about mug betting. And this, combined with all the other videos, it will give you the big and full picture as to what match betting is all about, so you can make an informed choice as to whether it is for you. It's not for everyone, even though it's available to everyone. It's not suited to everyone, and I think quite a lot of people are lured in by the promises of the money they can make, but then get annoyed by what it takes to do that, and they prefer to do something else. So I don't think that's particularly communicated very well as to the ongoing reality of what it involves to be long-term and sustainable. So that's what this channel is all about, is to take away that unknowing and lack of information about that, and make it freely available so that you can make your mind up without having to have jumped in headfirst to start with. So this is all about mug betting. Now, mug in this sense is the derogatory sense, as to, like, if you would call someone a mug, you know, like the wife who gets cheated on like 16 times and always takes her husband back. The people who are easy to take advantage of and naive, easy to manipulate, you know, they're mugs, and you've been taken for a mug, mate, you know, all that kind of a thing. So yeah, mug betting, it's mug as described in the arena of betting. And bookies themselves are not mugs, are they? They've been around for a long time, most of them. Maybe not online, because the internet's relatively new, but prior to that, obviously, they've got a huge presence in the high street. They're in it to win, pure and simple. It's just purely about making money. So we're a bit like Robin Hood, and I encourage everyone to. That's like an English heritage, to have that as part of your nature. You know, we're all born with it. It's within us to want to do that, to see the injustice, and to, like Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give to the poor. So that's what this is. It's stealing from the rich, the bookies, and distributing to people, the poor. So yeah, that's what we're doing. But they're not mugs, and they do not take kindly to intelligent people who use their bonuses but then don't offer them any further value. Obviously, if you as a customer only gamble when the offers are on, if you're in comparison to a customer who gambles either due to adverts on the TV, like when there's a big match coming up, or like at the minute when there's Cheltenham on, or you're someone who just bets out of loyalty to your team. Like, I'm from Barnsley, so I would regularly bet on Barnsley, or if I was a secret Man United fan, I would secretly bet on Man United every week. And such people who bet out of loyalty, they're also seen as mugs, and you're especially a mug if you do bet consistently on Barnsley to win anyway. So yeah, I mean, if you only take up their offers when they are offering a bonus or a free bet or whatever, or it seems like you found some amazing system where you just win so much more than you lose, then perhaps not going to treat you as well as they would treat a customer who is a mug. So yeah, what we need to do is to achieve long-term success and sustainability with match betting, we need to incorporate a mug betting schedule into our activities. So I mean, what they can do is if you're taking too much value, like you're only taking up the offers when they're on, and you seemingly keep winning, then they can limit the amount of bonuses and the offers that are available to you, or they can shut you down completely and just say, no, you're no longer welcome to gamble with us. You're too good, you're too intelligent, is what they're essentially saying. But we don't want that compliment from them, because that fucks us up, and we stop being able to make as much money as what we would be able to do otherwise, which is why we're in it, isn't it, really? So yeah, they're winners. They've been at it a long time. So overall, they just don't lose. They make tons of money, like they're making billions of pounds in profit. I mean, with match betting, nobody's actually been able to explain to me why match betting is a negative to the bookies, because it's been the case for me and everyone that I've spoken to about it who's done it for a while at least, that probably about 70 to 80% of the bets, you lose with the bookie and you win in the exchange. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about with that, I've made videos about the bookies and exchanges and backing and laying bets and things. So watch them and come back if you need to be up to speed for that to be able to understand. Nobody's been able to explain as to then why would they have a problem with match betting. And I've seen interviews with William Hill where they imply as though they're not bothered by it and have never been able to get an explanation as to why they would be bothered by it. It doesn't make sense to me that they would be bothered. It only makes sense to me that they care if you take in too much value from them, but not specifically match betting, because they, to me, seem to benefit from match betting, strange as it might sound. But if you know better, like you know why they would be against it other than what I've said, then please comment below, because I'd personally like to know, and to kind of get that verified on the Profit Accumulator forums, etc. And it'd be just good to know. But yeah, I don't know. It is basically, it's more about not giving them value. So you either keep winning against them, or you're only taking up the bonuses. I think that's what seems to get it flagged up. So yeah, we need to appear to be more valuable to the bookie than we would appear to if we only purely match bet when there were offers on, and that's done by placing the mug bets. Yeah, and then obviously we become mugs then, because we would essentially be making bets that gamblers make, and gamblers are mugs because, as we know only too well, the bookie wins over time. I mean, it's just the way that it is. A few people get lucky every so often, but overall, in a mathematical way, they win all the time. So we need to be the mugs in order to manipulate them. So by us placing mug bets, we are actually mugging them off, as young people like to say usually when they're talking about romantic situations. Right, so yeah, it's in our best interest and in the interest of the longevity of our match betting for us to understand and implement mug bets into our practice fairly early on in our match betting endeavour. It isn't necessary to place these mug bets whilst you're completing the beginner and advanced sign-up offers, but I would recommend, so if you're sure that you're going to be doing it in the long term, I would recommend starting a mug betting schedule when you get to the advanced offers. Start then doing mug betting schedules on the beginner ones that you've completed in the previous week, so like the big ones, the ones that you're going to be using on an ongoing basis for your reloads, like your horse racing refunds, football refunds, etc. I've made a video about those ongoing offers, and I constantly refer to them in other videos. So if you need more information about that, go and have a look at those videos. So yeah, you only need to worry about it after you've got the beginner ones done. With the bookies who you're pretty convinced you're going to be using on a consistent basis after that, and that consistency is what is required to keep your account unrestricted and open in the long term. In terms of actually placing mug bets, you just place them in the same way as you place a qualifying bet. And again, I've made videos about this, so go ahead and watch them. All about the bookies, the exchanges, laying and backing. So those are already done and dusted. So yeah, it works in the same way as like a qualifying bet. So there will be a tiny loss that we incur of pennies when we place a mug bet. This is another benefit of Profit Accumulator. They've got such a great forum and online community that one of the threads is a mug betting thread, and it's a close matches thread. So you go on there, and on a daily basis, people post what are the closest matches, because the loss that you make depends upon how close those matches are to each other. So, like if you're backing, say, Man U to win at 1.70 with your bookie, you're then wanting to find the opposite bet, so either like a draw or for Man U to lose at the exchange at like 1.69. So then your qualifying loss on like a £20 bet would probably be, I don't know, 30 pence or something like that. It's just one of the things, these losses. I mean, it immediately puts people off as soon as they hear that there's any kind of a loss. But with any business, as I'm sure you've heard, it's like you've got to speculate to accumulate. You've got to pay out in order to receive in. Um, yeah, and it is a business, and like one of the moderators on the forum says, if you treat it like a business, it'll pay like a business. So it's just something you've got to factor in. It's just part of the reality of how it works. So you just keep a running total of those losses. So you get your mug betting schedule that you've worked out, and then at the end of every week or month, you tally up the losses that you've made from placing those bets, and then you deduct that amount from the profits that you've made from taking up the offers, and that leaves you then with your net profit, and that is what you take home. So it's not complicated in comparison to other businesses. It involves very little expenditure in order to get things back. It's probably the best business that I've ever come across in terms of that. So we can't complain. I'm just telling you that that's involved, because if you were to encounter the kind of promotional videos for match betting service providers and match betting in general, you don't hear about that because it is a slight frustration, it is a slight negative. But I think be transparent, tell everybody everything that it involves, and then they can make an informed decision as to whether it is for them. Something like this shouldn't put people off. If it puts you off, then you're very easily put off. If you have to just place a few mug bets, that's going to knock just a few pounds off your overall profit, which is going to be considerable for very little return on financial and time investment. So it shouldn't put you off, but it's just another piece of the puzzle. So when you put them all together through all the videos on the channel, then you'll know the full picture, and then you'll add up all the little negatives, and do those all those little negatives add up to too much of a negative in order for it to be worth the financial gain. I highly doubt it. It's not been anywhere close to that for me or anybody that I know or anyone that I've read about, but it's just so you can make an informed decision, because it's not for everyone. So this channel's all about helping you decide if it is for you, and then you can't say then if you sign up that you weren't fully informed as to what it involves, and then the people who do sign up as a result of being fully informed, chances are they won't then stop and unsubscribe when these things come along as you go along, following the chronology of the way that Profit Accumulator have set it up. So it's just to make everything clear before you start the journey. It's like you wouldn't set off to try and reach any kind of destination without a plan. I like to follow a map or a route planner. So that's what this is, where I'm trying to map out the way to get to long-term sustainable match betting income before you actually start, and then you know whether you want to take that journey or not. It seems to be a general rule that the more offers you take up with a particular bookie, the more you should mug bet. That stands to reason, really. You want to be putting enough value in that makes you seem as though you're not just taking from them quite a lot. You've got to recompense them in some way by having a decent mug betting schedule, and to be convincing as a mug better so that it doesn't flag up. Say if you're predominantly betting on horses, then you want you predominantly to be mug betting on horses. Same for football, or if it's a mix, then do a mix. And also, if you're wanting to take up offers consistently that have got a value of like £50, so you bet £50 for a £50 free bet, you don't then want to just be betting £20 when you're doing your mug bets. You want them to be the same, so that you're seen as being consistent, and you're mirroring the value. You're putting in as much as you're taking out, sort of thing. So yeah, and be in amongst that, then be consistent, like with your football teams. So whoever is your favourite or whoever plays a lot. So I think it's wiser to not necessarily choose your favourite team unless your favourite team is somebody who plays in Europe and things like that, because they're more high profile games. Mug bettors are more likely to bet on Champions League games and things like that. There's more matches, there's more money in the markets. You're not going to have a problem getting your bets matched or anything like that. So if you support, Torquay, you might be best off mug betting as a Arsenal fan or whoever. Spurs. Yeah. So yeah, sorry. This is just a very basic introduction to mug betting. All these videos are very basic introductions, not everything you need to know. Like you can start a mug betting campaign now based on what I've told you, although you could come close. I really recommend that when you have signed up to Profit Accumulator, links in the description below, that then you take a look through the specific threads on the forums and see the advanced techniques and what other people recommend, and formulate a plan for yourself based on that stuff, and then ask around, post it and say, do you think this would be a good schedule? And they're used to stuff like that, and they're great, they're so friendly, they're always willing to respond to everyone and guide them in the right direction. So don't be afraid to ask questions and to comment. They're truly great. I've made a video specifically about service providers, specifically about the Profit Accumulator community in general. So give them a watch, because that I think is the main thing. If you were to do it in the long term without that support there, it would be a struggle. It would be quite sort of lonely. So yeah, they're fantastic, honestly. So yeah, verify everything by them before you start. That's what you need to do for everything. Everything that's kind of customizable, don't customize it and then think that, oh well, it sounds right to me. Get it checked by them. They're experts. They've been in it for a long time, so benefit from their experience. You are paying for it, so use it. I mean, mug betting can be frustrating. As I've said, there's lots of little frustrating parts of match betting. So when you see the full picture, is it worth the benefit that you get? I think it very most definitely will be. Same with every part of it, and the reason why I've created the book, the ebook, is that it's about mental approach. It's about knowing everything in advance and then being mentally prepared for that, so that when it comes along, it doesn't knock you off track, like frustrated, so it puts you off. Whereas that's happened to quite a lot of people, that they'll sign up with a service provider thinking that it's as basic as what it sounds on the sales page, and then all these things like mug betting come up, all the things to do with ID requests and not always being able to find really accurate matches, so you suffer a bit more on your qualifying losses. All these things are very, very minor, but they do kind of deflate people when they come across them as they're going along. So if you know about them in advance, you can then prepare mentally and practically. And it's the mental and practical approach to things that really determines everyone's success. Everyone's got the same opportunity, pardon me, but some people do better from it than others, and it's all to do with the mental approach and preparation. So I have created a free ebook all about that. That's very short. It's big text. It's all spaced out, so it's easy to read. But it's just a case that you read that beforehand. It'll then get your mind straight about what it's going to involve, and then when these things come along chronologically as you work with Profit Accumulator, then you're not going to, it's not going to knock you back, and then keep rereading it, and it'll keep you in the frame of mind you need to be in order to maximize this opportunity. So the link to the free ebook is in the description below. So please give that a click and give it a read, and it'll set you straight before you start. So they are the basics of mug betting. I know it's been quite a long video, and they're going for longer than what I anticipate them going on for, really. So I'm sorry if it's over long. If you got the gist earlier, fine. You could stop watching at any point. I don't know. I mean, I'm just doing my best. I've not done this before. I don't really know what I'm doing, other than telling you everything that I wish somebody had told me in advance. So I'll carry on doing it, and like or dislike. I'd rather you didn't dislike and comment about why you don't like it, and then I can do things better in the future, hopefully. But if you did find it useful and informative, then please like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, it really helps the channel to continue and to grow. I personally appreciate it a great deal. Links to all the social media are also in the description. And also, if you're ready to start either the free trial or subscribe to Profit Accumulator, please use my link in the description, and truly would appreciate that, because it recompenses me for what I'm doing and all the ongoing support with the social media and everything else, and just trying to make the channel as good as it can be. So thank you again for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you are finding these informative and useful. I hope you are motivated. There is a free trial, as I keep saying, Profit Accumulator, or it's $22.99 a month as it stands, or £150 for the year. So why not take up the free trial, prove that it works, get started, get on the affiliate scheme, start sharing this, make a difference in people's lives, and let's, one step at a time, one person at a time, start fighting back and taking back what is ours, which is this country, which is England. See you on the next one.